Hello everyone and welcome back to Game Week 2 of the 25-26 Slater and Gordon Championship, live from the Lee Westwood Sports Centre, where you join myself, Ryan Sipple, for the final game of the day on Court A, and it should be a great one. GBG Saracens versus Altrincham. And once I apply the context of what's happened today, it adds another layer of intrigue. GBG Saracens have Aaron Ebanks, Avery Basin-Ball, Fred Boddy, Jack Ebanks, Tommy Mickelson, Ollie Grafton, Adam Sevenoaks, and Altrincham have the following. They have no Jack Johnson, he's not present today. They have Jack Hassan, Daniel Holt, Jake Hudson, Joey Levine. Mason Davies is observing a one-game suspension, having received a red card in Altringham's defeat to Teesside Steel. A really unfortunate series of events, leaving the court to prevent a clear goal-scoring opportunity. So it presents GBG Saracens with a really credible opportunity to register their first win of the season. As you can see from the standings, of their 6 games played, they're yet to see themselves secure any points, the same as Hull and East Yorkshire. A win here, however, would see them go level with Nottingham Forest in 9th, certainly in point accumulation. So don't underestimate how important a win here could be for John Dixon's side. We reference their games that they've played today. They opened with a very narrow defeat to Leeds Dynamos. I thought they were fantastic in that one, but following that, a 4-1 defeat to West Bromwich Albion Baggies, all 4 goals coming in the first half. So they're going to want to be alert, ready, and anticipating the threat of Altrincham early on. As we've already established, Altrincham started with a 2-1 victory over West Bromwich Albion Baggies before that 3-1 defeat to Teesside Steel. I have to say, Altrincham were fantastic in that one, certainly in the second half, but we had 3 goals and a red card in the first 5 minutes of the fixture. When was the last time that happened? From the mutual perspective, which I sit, I'm hoping for comparable action. Maybe not any red cards, but certainly as many goals as possible. As Jack Hassan readies to kick things off here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. We are officially underway. So the squads in their entirety. We have Fred Boddy, Avery Basin-Ball, Jack Ebanks and Aaron Ebanks for GBG Saracens, Ollie Grafton, Tommy Mickelson, Adam Sevenoaks on the bench, and for Altrincham, fired into the box, looking for that gap, was Jack Hassan. They have Jake Hudson in goal, Daniel Holt and Joey Levine. No substitutes, with Jack Johnson unavailable and Mason Davies suspended. Experience shown from Jack Hassan there. They're knocking on the door early on. I think for both, it presents a really good opportunity to win. How significant will that Mason Davies miss be? Just slightly, bit of miscommunication between Daniel Holt and Jack Hassan. Aaron Ebanks into Avery Basin-Ball. into Joey Levine, trying to squeeze it through. Avery Basingbourn has to be alert. Jack Hassan. Basingbourn into Jack Ebanks. Not too happy with the contact from Daniel Holt. Live on Court B. A really crucial clash at the bottom. Again, Hull and East Yorkshire versus Manchester City. Apologies for that. So Jake Hudson, engaged by Avery Basingbourn. Over to Jack Ebanks. Fairly end-to-end stuff here in the opening few minutes. Jake Hudson into Jack Hassan, looking for Joey Levine. One thing that I will say, it's fairly hard to distinguish between these two teams because both are variations of red and black. Because whilst Sale United are in their Altrincham are in their black and yellow strip, they have got red nameplates. Slightly contrast the red home shirts of GBG Saracens, so I apologise if there's any difficulty distinguishing between the two. The two goalkeepers, however, stand out significantly in purple and luminous yellow. Looking for you can tell he was looking for that 180, but was also at the same time very considerate of the placement of Aaron Ebanks. Whether it's a kind of a formal approach from John Dixon or something that he manages, we have seen them rotate their central player at the half-time break. Avery Basingbourn gets the first 20 minutes, Tommy Mickelson gets the second. Falls kindly to Joey Levine, switches the play. Daniel Holt needed to be in reverse there, wasn't able to capitalise, wasn't able to have anything in way of goal-scoring opportunity. He was driving in reverse as well and then opted to turn his chair. That lost all momentum, and that's a nice switch of play. Can Jack Ebanks catch up to it? Just unable to. But you're seeing the quality, the precision, the calmness of Avery Basingbourn. Jake Hudson is not an easy player to bypass, yet he did it with relative ease on that occasion. And they're looking to impose somewhat of a high press to condense Altrincham into their own half. Jeff Lewis just having a conversation with Jack Hassan and Jack Ebanks. I think we're going to switch balls, whether or not that one has a puncture. So from white to yellow. Jack Hassan. Good work from Jack Ebanks just to pick the pocket, met by Daniel Holt. Fred Body out of his box. Not often we see him more advanced than Avery Bazin-Ball. Does brilliantly well to win his side the free kick. Just looking at the quality and the young talent the GBG Saracens have. Fred Body, Avery Bazin-Ball, Ollie Grafton, Tommy Mickelson. It's an incredible team that will only develop and grow the more they play together. It's Joey Levine. It probably won't translate across the stream because of our cameras and where you're placed, but Avery Bazin-Ball has the best poker face you will ever see. Shows no emotions, the coolest customer in the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. Considering he's one of the youngest players competing in the entire National League, it's remarkable, really. I said it when I was calling their action earlier against Leeds Dynamos. It's ridiculous, really, when you think about the level these players are competing at the age they are. Level of maturity, level of talent, and the next kind of wave, the next generation of Powerchair players bodes so well for the future. Whether it's next year, whether it's in 5 years, whether it's in 9 years, that World Cup will come to England at some point. Our pathway, our system is better than any others on the planet. And it's only a matter of time when that will reap its rewards. And I'm sure many of these young players have aspirations of one day putting on that Three Lions shirt. Good opportunity for Adam Sevenoaks. A flurry of changes for GBG Saracens with Adam Sevenoaks. And now Aaron Ebanks, quick switch with his brother. To Avery Bazin-Ball. Looking to switch. Huge thank you to everyone tuning in and everyone that's caught games across day one of game week 2 of the Slater Gordon Championship. We will of course be back tomorrow for another action-packed day of football here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. Be a tough day for Altrincham. They'll play Manchester United in a more favourable fixture against Hull and East Yorkshire. When we're looking at GBG Saracens, they play Manchester City and Hull and East Yorkshire. So when you're looking at certain days in the season, a few will be more favourable than that of Sunday's fixtures. Joey Levine looking at Daniel Holt. It's very telegraphed, doesn't have the accuracy, so goes to the side of Adam Sevenoaks. It needed accuracy, which it sadly didn't have. Very cagey, very closely contested, as I suspect it would have been the case. Had Mason Davies been present, I would have tipped Altrincham to be the favourite, probably get the job done. But don't underestimate how much a certain player miss can have. That's Joey Levine just in front of me here. Unlike the fact that Jack Hassan's just come over to communicate. That's one thing that I commented on in their defeat to Teesside, how disappointed I was with their set pieces, and on that occasion it yields a bit more success, and again miscommunication, and that's on Jack Hassan. He nodded towards Joey Levine to engage the action, and then despite that followed it up. But they had opportunities against Teesside still at dead ball situations, and none of them really amounted to anything. They rushed them, they didn't communicate. On that occasion, the one time they just took a few seconds to compose themselves, communicate, there was a shot on goal. So better from Altrincham. Nice little bit of rotation off the ball between Joey Levine and Daniel Holt. All it needs is communication. One thing will be interesting is that matchup against Manchester United for Altrincham tomorrow, their sister club, and assuming Jack Johnson is present and Mason Davies returns from suspension, that should be a fantastic game. David D will line up against his former side. Eager to see Tommy Mickelson in this one. He was absolutely superb earlier today. And despite them securing no points in the season thus far, there is positive stories to tell. It's a matter of when, not if, things start to click and they start to get off the mark. To absorb some attacking pressure here, just it's a bit of inexperience showed in their positional play. A flurry of 2-on-1 infringements awarded in Altrinham's favour. Again, they're trying to get their positions, they're clearly communicating. Indirect. Whether he's looking for Daniel Holt or Joey Levine, neither option looks really open. And it goes all the way back to Jake Hudson, just almost caught in two minds as to whether engage it or control it. And now a potential breakaway. Nice little pick off over to Daniel Holt. Fred Body saves well. They open the court. Nice involvement from Joey Levine. He's had a few occasions like that where he switched the play well to Daniel Holt. And it's without question that Altrincham have been the better of the two sides. They've had the more attacking intent. But Fred Body, competing in his first ever day of National League football, does brilliantly well to prevent. I think he's a great player, showing a lot of organisation and communication with whatever central pairing John Dixon opts for. One awarded in favour of GBG Saracens. Yeah, Jack Hassan just enticed forward ever so slightly. This is where Fred Body's just going to have to be considerate of his placement, but he's out to that nice channel occupied by Aaron Ebanks. Aaron Ebanks scored a beautiful goal in the Championship playoff back in June, which helped them secure their spot in the 25-26 season. It was a really nice finish from someone who's been away from the game for quite some time. It's great to see him back. Daniel Holt doesn't have the power to bypass Avery Basingball, who's quietly having a very effective game, just breaking things up for GBG Saracens. "17 minutes played." Joey Levine down to Jack Hassan. Adam Sevenoaks hasn't had a great deal of involvement since his introduction. A few early chances, but beyond that, he's been fairly isolated. Good work from Ball. Going to try and condense and pressure Joey Levine now. Still in, both players left it. Out for an Altrincham ball. Manchester City, a goal to the good. On court B. Should they manage to see that one out. It will be their first win of the season. And this a late opportunity. They're knocking on the door, Altrincham. Nothing that's really managed to pull Body and Ball apart. But this is nice as Joey Levine looks to put himself between the two Saracens players. Fred Body has to be behind that goal line to observe. 5 metres. Just being marked out by Jeff Lewis. This is an opportunity, surely, off the angle of Joey Levine. That's exactly what it does. Very, very little that Fred Body and Ball could have done to stop that going over the line. The placement of the initial indirect free kick posed a real danger. And Joey Levine off the mark. Jack Hassan, the provider, and Altrincham have their goal in the dying embers of this first half. It's unlucky for GBG Saracens, but we will go back to that 2-on-1 discipline being so important. You can't disregard your placement in the final third because the top teams will punish you. This is a real learning experience for that squad. It's a long season. I just hope they don't dwell on negative results this early on. I mean, even in the instance that they find themselves bottom of the table, 11th in the standings, they will still probably be the favourites in any sort of playoff process. I see more positives than negatives, far more. I'll show you the live league table just so you can see how things are shaping up, and then I'll leave you momentarily. You can see that a potential win for Altrincham would see them match Manchester United ahead of them to meeting one another tomorrow. GBG Saracens still rooted to the floor, but so similarly matched to that of Hull and East Yorkshire and Nottingham Forest. Just a win and a draw tomorrow could see them have a degree of comfort over the jeopardy spots. Thank you to all that are tuning in. I'll be back very shortly for the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the final half of football here on Court A. Day 1, Game Week 2 of the 25-26 Slater and Gordon Championship. Joining myself, Ryan Sipple, for the action between GBG Saracens and Altrincham. Currently separated by a single Joey Levine goal. The change I suspected would be the case has been made by John Dixon. Tommy Mickelson now coming in to the centre. It's a shame, actually, because I think Avery Basingbourn was absolutely superb. And if there is this fairly rigid system of giving both of them 20 minutes, it doesn't necessarily reward positive performances and consistency and them being settled in a fixture. I'd love to see a system that can accommodate both of them. Not overly sure as to their classification status, whether that plays into John Dixon's consideration, but there's two very talented players there. As Jake Hudson left by Jack Hassan really well, and Joey Levine was advancing up this right-hand wing, so had Daniel Holt managed to squeeze it through, there would have been an opportunity. They was the more attacking of the two teams, there's no doubt about that. Altrincham in the first 20 minutes, but only one or two opportunities that really gave Fred Body something to think about as Joey Levine strikes at goal. Daniel Holt very considerate of Aaron Ebank's placement there. Appears to be a very interesting, intriguing game on Court B. Manchester City still a goal up against Hull and East Yorkshire. It's Fred Body out to Aaron Ebanks. Doesn't quite have the angle to push it up this line before Joey Levine is able to engage. And as was the case in the first half, a lack of two-on-one discipline gifts Altrincham an indirect free kick. This is almost the exact area that saw them open the scoring. Jack Hassan was the taker. This time, Tommy Mickelson and Fred Body not allowing Joey Levine to position himself between them, which is better. Shows a little bit of a development, a learn, but he's going to attack that back post. Should have done better there. That should be 2-0. GBG Saracens escape. There'll be few bigger let-offs. Just would like to see Aaron Ebanks be a little bit better at pushing it down this line and away from the path of the oncoming opponent. Joey Levine. Tommy Mickelson yet to impart his quality as he did in that Leeds game. I need to go back and watch their game against Baggies, that 4-1 defeat, the one where they conceded 4 in the first half. And if that was the same setup with Avery Basingbourn and Tommy Mickelson in the second half, I'm sure someone in the comment section can confirm. I don't think it would have been a coincidence that they were more positive, more productive in the second, because Tommy Mickelson is a great player, trying to push it into the path of Adam Sevenoaks. Tommy Mickelson advancing up the court. Picks out Aaron Ebanks over to Adam Sevenoaks. Starting to get some nice passing combinations going. But Jack Hassan sees out the danger. Now, delighted to be joined on commentary by Mason Davies, a player who should be competing in this game but is observing a one-game suspension. How are you? Frustrated?
About the red card, yeah, but watching the game is obviously a bit frustrating. I do think, though, they can get the job done, but honestly, this GBG team is very good.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right to say that. They've got a lot of talent. It's just a little bit of inexperience and naivety maybe that's seeing them struggle, relatively speaking, in the championship so far. But I think the quality they have, it's going to click sooner rather than later. This is a really good opportunity. The best they've had all game. Yeah. Adam Sevenoaks is going to take this indirect free kick. Tommy Mickelson needs to be careful of his placement because he's just about 3 metres away from Aaron Ebanks, who's wedged between Jake Hudson and Jack Hassan. No, trying to get the angle. It fires off the post.
Very close there.
Yeah.
Very unlucky.
It's exactly kind of how Joey Levine opened the scoring for Altrincham. Getting that angle right, but it needs a bit more power from the initial set-piece taker. But Jake Hudson had it well covered.
Goal kick here, Altrincham. Jake Hudson not taking. To Jack Hassan. Fakes it. Just goes down the court.
He's good at that, isn't he? He's done that on a few occasions. It needs the initial angle on the goal kick from Jake Hudson, but when it comes off, it's really nice, but it needs that high and wide winger. In that occasion, Daniel Holt to be anticipating it, staying in reverse to capitalise.
I'm not sure how this is a corner ball, but
definitely not. It come off Jack Hassan.
Yeah, but clearly referees didn't think so. We have, I think, well, yeah, Jake Hudson's taking.
There'll be a little bit of controversy.
Dan Holt's dropped back.
If Altrincham are able to capitalise here, across the box to Joey Levine.
Which they nearly are. Need to watch 2-on-1s though.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's where GBG Saracens, I think if I was their coach, if I was supporting John Dixon, I would say that's something we have to be really considerate of. That's what we need to improve on, is that 2-on-1 discipline, because that is where they're coming unstuck. That's where they're conceding goals.
100%.
If they get that right, there's no telling what they can achieve.
Overall, though, I've been very impressed with this young GBG team.
It is very young.
Very young. For how many players they've got, I think if you add all their ages up, which is a bit weird to sort of say, I think they're scraping over 100 maybe.
I thought about it in that way. I kind of go off average age, and I think when you look at Ollie Grafton,
I think it might be in the teens for these.
Tommy Mickelson, Fred Body, Avery Basin-Ball, they're all early teens. I think Jack Ebanks and Aaron Ebanks bring that average up a little bit, but
left by Jack Hassan to let it roll out for a goal kick.
As an average age, they're probably one of the youngest in the entire National League, alongside City, who have a very young squad as well.
Yes, 100%. Who are also playing on the other court right now. Yeah.
If that scoreline is correct, it is now a rout for Manchester City, who look on course to secure what I would say confidently is their greatest win in their National League history. 4-0 currently.
100%.
A huge result for them. All of their wins typically come by a goal, don't they?
Yep.
So
well, the scarce wins, they don't win many, do they?
No, absolutely right. Nice to see Ollie Grafton on. Another young, exciting prospect. Hasn't had as many minutes as he probably would have wanted. I think they're trying to balance that experience and youth with the Ebanks and Adam Sevenoaks.
Yep. As you would do, because it's all right being young, but if you have a whole team of young players, I think maybe if you concede, you might start to tilt a little bit.
This squad and these players have so much time on their hands. I was saying, Mace, that even if they finish in 11th or 12th, you would back them in any sort of playoffs. So just enjoy yourself, develop individually, develop collectively, and then just see where you are at the end of the season. Jake Hudson now with an opportunity. Strange placement of Daniel Holt. There's a big channel there, but he's right behind Adam Sevenoaks. I'd like him to be a little bit more advanced. He's going to get possession here.
Takes his time or too long?
He just took a second too long. That 180 needed to be engaged far sooner.
I don't think he even needed to 180, if I'm being honest. He could have just reversed further than the ball, and a side hit would have done the job.
It's a shame, obviously, beyond your red card against Teesside Steel, you wasn't able to watch the game. And I'm sure you'll watch it back later, Mace. They were fantastic in that second half, Altrincham. Absolutely brilliant.
I watched it. I went back to the room after.
Have you watched it back?
Yeah, I went back to the room after I got sent off. It winds me up saying it, but...
I know, but it's a learning experience. You're still one of the youngest, most inexperienced players in this division, and you hold yourself to such a high standard that it's a mistake that players far older, far more experienced than you have made. And you'll learn from it.
100%. One thing that I will say, and anyone watching, if you want to laugh at this, you can. I've now got a red card before I've ever got a yellow card in National League football. It's not my favourite stat to own, but I've got it.
I hope you're penciled in to wash your dad's car this week, because you've got to pay for the fine now.
Probably not.
Take it out your Christmas money. Daniel Holt across the box. Joey Levine once again. That's the second or third time he's been attacking that right-hand post, but it's just been a second or two late in reacting. There's not much more he could have done there.
Not at all. Good ball, good extra pass from Daniel Holt.
There's not many games where Daniel Holt will play all 40 minutes. And I think the more we're getting into this game, the more confidence he's getting, the sharper 100%. He's getting. It shows how important minutes are. Time, exactly that, Mace. Solly Grafton just...
I know a lot about that, because when I first started last year, I got 20 minutes at each match.
Yeah.
And as it went later on, I started to get 25, 30. And the more it went on, the more I improved per match.
It's something that I speak about fairly frequently, and I'm always an advocate for a player getting more consistent minutes at a lower level than a share of minutes at a higher level.
Yep.
So if you're offered the opportunity to play in a Premiership team, but you'll get maybe 5, maximum 10 minutes per game,
I would take it.
No, it would just halt your development.
That's why I probably wouldn't take it.
No, you've got so much time on your side, as do some of these young players. Prioritise minutes, prioritise developing, getting up to the pace, the feel of National League. And what that will do for your wider football, your potential on maybe England pathways.
Yep.
Really cannot be understated. I know a few players have transitioned from the Championship to the Premiership in the off-season and are settling, or certainly did so in Gameweek 1 for a very few...
Joey Levine.
Got a nice connection on it.
Very good connection.
But yeah, minutes are key, as Altrincham weathered a little bit of a storm from GBG Saracens and now very much back in the ascendancy, knocking on the door for a second.
Just over 5 minutes left. 1-0 to Altrincham.
I was saying in that first half, Mace, when you wasn't here, that your game against Manchester United tomorrow will be fascinating. You are playing them, right?
Yep.
And assuming you're back, Jack Johnson's back.
Yep.
That could be a real firecracker of a fixture.
I don't think Joey Levine's there, though.
Really? That's disappointing because
Very.
he's clearly grown in confidence the more
100%.
minutes he's getting. He's going to try and turn provider on this occasion. Both of his supporting teammates into Jack Hassan, blocked by Tommy Mickelson. Ollie Grafton up the court really nicely into Adam Sevenoaks, slightly forced, and it's just wide of that post. I think I would have liked to have seen him return the favour to Ollie Grafton. But that being said, Ollie Grafton was driving onto the ball, so never would have really been able to capitalise in a productive way. Good chance for Adam Sevenoaks.
Yeah, just a tip for maybe any players who are not playing at national level. It's a lot better for you on the wing to stay in reverse than it is for you to drive sort of facing the goal, because you have more options then. You can full rotate across the pitch, you can side hit across. You can front bumper back, side hit back.
Exactly. It triples, quadruples the choices that you have, not just in terms of decision making, but quality and power.
Yep.
How I see it, Mace, is if I'm coaching a wide player, I want them always facing the ball.
Yep.
Always to be facing the ball.
I'm not sure what the plan was there for Altrincham. Looks like just get it up the pitch, maybe? I mean, obviously being a player myself, I probably should know what the thing was there, but...
The fact that it's your team...
Yeah.
As well.
Could have just been a miss hit. I think he might have been trying to lay it to Jake Hudson, Jack Hassan, but facing the wrong way to do so.
Yeah. Jack Hassan just showing his experience there at the...
Kicking for Altrincham,
yeah,
I believe.
Last second, just fired it off Adam Sevenoaks.
Yep.
Daniel Holt coming short.
I don't know if we've always had as many young players in the competition, but certainly this year maybe there might be more than what there normally was last year.
I think that's a trend that we've seen.
More years coming, yeah.
Every year we got new young emerging talent coming through because the development of the sport at grassroots level. We spoke earlier on commentary that you said you saw the Wrexham documentary and felt you had to try Powerchair Football.
Yep.
And the time between seeing Powerchair Football for the first time on your TV to competing at the National League is what? A couple of years, if that.
Not even a year.
Exactly, and that is crazy to me that you can come and be a leading player in the division within that short space of time, and you were seeing others emulate some sort of form of that journey. As Ollie Grafton now staying in reverse brilliantly. He's engaged by Jack Hassan, so maybe he could have had a little swipe at the ball to switch it to Jack Ebanks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would have liked him to.
There was a big channel. There's a big channel there, but we're talking about the development of players. Ollie Grafton can go back to his hotel or home this evening, look at the footage and go, okay, I should have done that. And on the next occasion, he may opt to try and swipe it across the court, pass to his alternate winger.
It's all about what you see on the court, though, really, isn't it? If you don't see your other player on the other side of the court, you might just take a touch. But if he saw that chance, I'm sure he might be not literally kicking himself, but in the same way, kicking himself.
I think he's been bright. It'll be a short cameo for him, but another player with a very high ceiling that I'm excited to watch closely across the 25-26 season.
We're deep into the last 5 minutes now.
Tommy Mickelson pushing it forward there, knocking on the door very late on.
Very late on indeed. Still 1-0.
Yeah, very finely poised as Ollie Grafton now puts it up the court.
For my own team, I'd like to see more, but this is a very, very well drilled GBG team.
I think they'll take a lot of encouragement, even if this does fall to defeat.
Yep.
It was 1-0 against Leeds Dynamos.
Yeah.
It's going to be 1-0 against Altrincham.
1-0 against Man United as well.
It was a blip against West Bromwich Albion Baggies, which they lost 4-1. But the more football they play, the better they get. It's a cliche, but it's so true in their case.
There we go.
Good communication from Tommy Mickelson. I would have liked to have seen him push that down to Jackie Banks. Far clearer.
Just catching Tommy Mickelson's face. He's biting his lip.
Yeah.
As he plays, very focused.
Look how brave they're being. Fred Body
100%.
coming up to support the attack there.
Maybe trying to do a little bit of full route.
Yeah.
Just to try and get the win.
I love it.
I would like to see Jack-Hassan take his time here.
It's clear that Saracens are playing with a bit of confidence and bravery, which I love to see.
For such a young team, it's very, very good. Full time on the other court.
Full time on the other court. So Manchester City register their first win of the season and their most comprehensive win in their National League history. So congratulations to them.
4 or 5, did it finish 4?
I think 4.
4. Very well done.
It's confirmation on your screens now. But here we are nearly a minute into additional time. Altrincham will get the 3 points, which they deserve. They've been the more attacking of the two teams. They've been the braver of the two teams, but take nothing away from this collective effort for GBG Saracens. I watched them earlier this morning, and I've watched them here. They have been fantastic. Yeah, potentially.
Getting pushed off. I think either problem with the chair or his battery's dead.
Yeah.
Can't quite see who it is.
Either way, I don't think it will change the outcome. And GBG Saracens now, hopefully, will take a lot of confidence into their performances tomorrow when they play Manchester City and Hull in East Yorkshire. Two teams next to them in the Slater and Gordon standings.
I would like to see Jack-Hassan take that better, though. There's no need for him to hit that straight out.
I said in the game against Teesside, Mace, and it's something you can probably relay back to your team, mates. I was really disappointed with their set pieces in that game against Teesside. I think they were rushed. I think you can take more time, you can communicate your intentions better, and maybe when you get back to training in the week, it's something you can really focus on, because you saw the success you had from it in this game. You're going to get 3 points from this game as a result of an indirect free kick, which was capitalised on.
Well, not fully yet.
2-on-1 in Altringham's favour. But that's what the footage will give you, is these...
Is it Fred Body in net?
Yeah.
I would just like him to just sit a little deeper. There's no need for him to come up to hit that ball to Adam Sevenoaks. He could have just took his time and let Adam Sevenoaks play to him, and then him laying it back.
A late chance here. Ollie Grafton is going to try and force the ball over the line. We are very deep into additional time, nearly 3 minutes.
It would be a pain if Altrincham concede here.
I don't disagree, but I love the late rally from GBG Saracens. 100%. Surely that's it. And Jeff Lewis.
Full time, 1-0 to Altrincham Powerchair Football team.
Yeah, a good win for Altrincham, certainly considering your suspension and you're such a key player, so they're adapting without you at almost the 11th hour, and it's always difficult when you've got 3 games in one day as well, but they'll take positives from that. Let's show the live league standings so you can see how things end on day 1 of game week 2. You can see that Nottinghamshire top the pack, maximum points, 25 goals scored, none conceded. They are the benchmark. They are the team everyone that are chasing. GBG Saracens go up to 11th due to Hull and East Yorkshire's inferior goal difference, but that sets up a mouth-watering clash between the two tomorrow afternoon. Thank you to all that have tuned in, to myself and Mason Davies. We'll be back tomorrow for a full day here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre. Thank you, Mason.
Thank you.